Hi Flutes, I hope you're following along in your book, and I hope you've already watched the clapping and counting video where we talk about eighth notes. So if you haven't watched that one, go back and do that one first, because you have to clap and count it before I will listen to you play it. So make sure you watch the rhythm video first. Now let's talk about the note names. Now it's important that you don't start playing this until you can say it. So we have here our key signature, which is B flats and E flats. Automatically. Now, I'm not going to say B flat because there's not going to be enough time. I'm simply going to say B, but we're going to mark our key signature and we're going to know that all of our B's are going to be B flats. Now, D is on the quarter note, so we're going to say D for one beat. Now, these eighth notes that we talked about in the last video are both D, so I'm going to say it 2 times in one beat. This one on the number, and this one halfway. Then here we have our B flat, B flat, B flat. So I'm going to turn the metronome on. And remember, the down sound, the number, is the low sound in our metronome. The and is the high sound, and it's halfway in between. So let's review the counting real quick. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. I'm going to say the letter names at the same time that I said the numbers. D, 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 B, B, B. Now we're going to show and tell. D, 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 B, B, B. Notice when I play D, I'm keeping my first finger really close. Do it again. Ready, go. D, 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 B, B, B. Now the next measure is just a nice simple quarter note, half note. D, D, F. This is our phrase, so let's practice saying it all together. 1, 2, ready, go. D, 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 B, B, B. D, D, F. Now, how do I make those with my tongue? The same way I said it. I said D, D, D. I had to use my tongue to say those letters. Now I take away my voice and I just use my tongue. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. One nice relaxed breath. I'm just saying 2. So let's try that. Ready, go. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Now let's play it. Find your sweet spot. 1 and 2 and ready, 3. Now, make sure you practice a whole bunch of times. Stop the video, go back and redo. Stop the video, go back and redo. Play it 2, 3 times in a row. And if I'm going too fast, stop and put your metronome on a slower tempo. When we're doing eighth notes, you can slow down the quarter note tempo quite a bit because your eighth notes are going to be halfway in between. Just make sure whatever tempo you do the first measure, you keep it the same for the second measure. It's cheating to go slow on this one and fast on this one. All right, next measure. Letters first. Now here you can see how when we get to the A's, we flip them so the stems are going up. You can see how if the stems were going down, they would run into this next line of music underneath. It doesn't change what the note is or how you count it or anything. It just means that there was not enough room, so we flip them over. C, 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 A, A. Now, if you need to write in the A's, you can. However, by now, because this is our second one, you should be recognizing them with your eyes if possible. C, 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 A. And it's actually kind of nice that the stems flip because that helps you see the difference between the A and the C. Now, let's show and tell. Ready, go. C, 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 A. Now the next measure over here is just C, C, E. Now it's going to be an E flat because of our key signature. So let's say it all together. ready, go. C, 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 A, C, C, E flat. Now let's practice. 1, 2, ready, breathe. And it's important that you use the 2 with one long connected breath. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. My air never stops. My air just keeps relaxing out as my tongue says 2. Now, after I get that one 3, 4, 5 times right in a row, I'm going to connect the whole line. So stop the video here, practice each chunk until you get really confident, and then I'll be here when you come back. All right, let's play the whole thing together. 1 and 2 and ready, breathe. All right, now looking at the second line, you'll notice that these 2 measures are exactly the same as these 2 measures. These look the same. They are the same. They're going to sound the same. We're going to clap, count, and play them exactly the same way. Now, in this measure, we have a little change in the pattern. Let's clap and count it first. 1 and 2 and ready, go. 1, 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now let's look at the letter names. C, D, E flat, D, and C. So I'm going to say them first before I play them. 1, 2, ready, go. C, D, E, D, C, B flat, B flat. D, E, 2 separate sounds, but the same thing as up here. Here we had C, C. Here we have D to E flat. So say this until you can say it confidently without stammering or restarting. Nice and smooth before you even start with your fingers. Let's do it one more time. Ready, go. C, D, E, C. Oops, my mistake. C, D, E, D, C, B flat, B flat. Again, and go. C, D, E, D, C, B flat. Now with my fingers, it's going to be very important that I keep my fingers super, super, super close. When I play C, I'm going to try to trick you and make it so that you can't even see that I'm playing C. All my fingers are going to look like I'm playing D. So for me, my difference between C and D is super tiny. This is going to make it easier to go between the notes. 1, 2, ready, say, C, D, E, D, C. Again and go. C, D, E, D, C. Again and go. C, D, E, D, C. And practice it 100 times. Well, practice it 3 times in a row until you can do it smooth with no mistakes. And then practice playing it. 1, 2, ready, breathe. Now that was right 1 time. To really know it, play it 3 times in a row. Ready, go. Again and go. Again and go. Now, I'm going to practice off camera, and I'm going to link all my little chunks together. And you should too. Now, if you start making mistakes, you have 2 choices. Either slow down the metronome or take that little chunk out and practice it just by itself. All right, let's look at the whole thing, starting from the beginning. 1 and 2 and ready, 3. Now let's play that again where the bell isn't in the middle and I don't drop on the F. Could you hear when I played the F, there's a little bit of that low sound in there? Yeah, I don't like that. How do I fix that? I make my opening a little smaller and I blow upwards to make sure that my F comes out nice and clean. Sometimes when we're playing all of these lower notes like A, I can get too used to playing with my low face. I need to change to my high face. All right, let's play it again. 1 and 2 and ready. Happier with that one. But again, I played it one time where I was not happy and one time where I was. To really learn it, I should play it several times so I can get 3 in a row that I like. So that's what I'm going to go do, and you guys should too. Go have fun practicing.